Cool.
All right, welcome to Witchpolice Radio. As most of you know, I've been doing these sort of quick hit 10-minute episodes, which are just to talk to people who maybe don't have a full album out yet, or there's nothing, of that big nature happening, but there's new singles coming out every day, especially during this pandemic, and it's kind of an opportunity to talk to artists who are doing something that's new, but not necessarily on the scale of an album or a tour. Not that tours are happening now, but this is a show that focuses primarily on Manitoba musicians. But because it's my show, I often have artists on from outside of the province that I just like their music, and it's my show, so I make the rules. So I have on the show Friendlyness of the Human Rights. The frontman of one of my favorite Canadian reggae bands. And you guys have a new single out, which I'm very excited about. And I think maybe the best way to start it off is if you want to just introduce yourself and the band to people who maybe aren't familiar with your work.
Greetings, Samuel. Yeah, my name's Friendlyness. I'm the lead singer from a group called the Human Rights from here in Toronto. We've been doing our thing here for about 11, close to 12 years, just promoting and producing new roots reggae music for the world. It's new reggae music, but it's in that tradition of the great classic reggae music that we all know and love throughout the years. So we have a brand new album coming out. It's going to be our third full-length album. It's not coming out probably till the summer or maybe in the fall, but we just released the first single off of the album. The album's going to be entitled Reggae Strong, but the first single that we just released is called Peace Gun.
And how long has it been since the last album came out? Because it's been a few years now, right?
It has been a few years. The last full-length album we put out was 2016. So you're looking at 5 years since our last full-length release.
Okay. And how have things changed over that time for the band? Is it still essentially the same lineup, or you had some lineup changes, or what's going on there?
Yeah, well, it's still the same lineup. I think in the meantime, we did have one trumpet player who played on the last record who was named Patrick McGroarty. Okay. He has since left the group because he got really busy with his other studio productions and audio works that he was doing. And then we had another guy named Danny DePoe filling in. But we'd actually recorded this last full-length record at Patrick's studio. So it's at Patrick's, the old trumpet player studio, right, with the new trumpet guy. But other than that, it's the entire same lineup,
What is the song itself? I mean, I know you have a music video for it, which I've seen as well. What is the significance behind the title? I mean, the idea of a peace gun is obviously pretty strong in the lyrics as well in that song.
Well, yeah, the whole sentiment of the song is that peace is the strongest weapon of all. It's only when we can really get together in love and have peace that we can really achieve the great noble aspirations that mankind is designed for. It's when we actually come together and cooperate, stop wasting our time fighting one another, and wasting all these vast resources that are spent on, the weapons themselves, the soldiers and all of that stuff. When we can take all that stuff and pool our resources and actually fight against mankind's common enemies, which, as I mentioned in the song, are disease, poverty, and ignorance. So that's what the sentiment of the song is, that, the best gun of all is no gun. And we can really make things happen when we come together and do things together in peace and harmony,
Well, it's a very timely thought too, because I mean, all of those things, disease and ignorance, we're in a prime time for that, unfortunately, in the world right now. What do you think it is about reggae music's kind of power to address social issues and to basically, inform people and educate people and fight back, I guess, against systems that are causing all this bullshit?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. It was that's what kind of really drew me to reggae in the first place.
Sure,
what I mean? Other than just the music itself, the rhythm, the beats, the sonics of the heavy bass and the drums and all that. But from a youngster, I really got into reggae music as a youngster, maybe about 14, 13 years old. And that was one of the things that really drew me to it was this music that, like, it was cool to actually say something. It wasn't about pop music. It wasn't about the latest dance. It wasn't about some fashion trend. It was about, roots and reality. It was about what's really going on the earth, some human condition, addressing some real history, not the kind of, illusionary history, even the way it approached, religion and spirituality was a more realistic way. So that's something like reggae music has just always had that power of, like, being the voice of the people, the grassroots music that actually, is not afraid to say something and actually gets props for saying something.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and especially when there's a time when there's struggle going on. I mean, the struggle going on all over the world at all times, but, it seems like reggae is one of those genres, and punk rock as well, where when there's, negative things happening to large groups of people, it speaks out and acts as a voice, and hip hop as well, right? I mean, very, very strong in that category.
Definitely true. And that's why, punk and reggae always had that kind of connection as, rebellious music, and hip hop definitely, when it first started out, was a lot more rebellious, a lot more conscious in the lyrical flow.
Yeah.
You know, just like any genre of music too, like these things can all get kind of, you know, co-opted and corrupted. You know, there's pop commercial reggae that focuses on, you know, violence or materialism. There's hip hop that does the same. You know, I'm not so much sure about, you know, pop punk music, but, you know, just
Yeah,
like
no,
any genre of music, there's always good and bad, right? So
definitely. How has this pandemic affected you guys? I mean, I know, you know, no one in Canada or anywhere is able to play shows really. No one can tour. What has the impact been on your band?
well, we haven't done a show in more than a year now. Our last performance was actually February of last year. Well, not last year. I guess it was the year before. So it's
Right,
been a year,
right.
year and change, you know. Um, I guess it's affected things and just making everything kind of slow down as far as the live performance. But, you know, it's just like anything. When anything kind of happens in life, you just have to find some ways to adapt to it and
Yeah,
make the best of the situation. So we've been, you know, we've finished, you know, mixing and mastering the songs, which we could do under some social protocols. We've been, you know, creating the lyric video and having, you know, visions for how we're gonna release this music. We did one little video out in the summertime where we all kind of went out into the bush and
yeah,
just did a little acoustic recording, social distance and all that too, masked up and everything. Uh, but I guess it's just really affected us in ways like, you know, it's just like anything. When things come out in the crunch, like they always say, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
yeah.
So you gotta make something happen, you know?
Has this been well, you know, I've been doing two of these a week or more and talking to artists from all kinds of genres over the whole past year of this pandemic. And it seems like people are having different experiences, especially, I mean, creative people. Some people are completely blocked and they can't write, they can't create during this time. And others are finding it a very fertile time to just come up with ideas, record things, write songs. What has that been like for you?
I find it's been, you know, it's been a little bit of both. Like I've had my creative little spurts at the same time. Like I work in a cannabis shop, so I've still been working all the way through,
Yeah,
unfortunately. So I haven't really had a lot of downtime as per se, you know what I mean? But I found it's been great for the type of material that's been creating because just like, you know, it's like a new time, a new situation. So it calls for new songs, new lyrics, new emotions, new ways of expressing new
yeah,
thoughts, new ways of expressing old thoughts, new ways of getting your thoughts out there. You know, the one good thing about it is like right now with, you know, with a lot of people being on stay home lockdown order, you got a bit of a captive audience.
sure.
So if there was something that you wanted to say or there was something to put out, now is a really good time because, you know, people were kind of hungry for, you know, new things to look for, new music to listen to, new sounds to hear, new messages, you know.
Yeah,
So it's been good that way.
yeah,
But
for
you
sure.
know,
No doubt.
we don't like to see anybody suffering, so it's been hard on the psyche to know that A, you know, people are suffering with the sickness itself, and then B, that people are suffering just from, you know, the cause reactions and all the chain reactions of having to, you know, like whether they lose their work or just having to stay
Yeah,
home, or not being able to be social or get outside and have some fresh air and exercise. Those things can all have a negative effect on you. But like I say, no matter what your situation is, you have to try to just find some way to make the best of it because whatever it is, it just is. You can really, I mean, you can wish it to be a different way if you want, but it's going to be how it is. So you
yeah.
better find a better way to deal with it.
Is it hard to create music with a positive message during a time like this where everyone, I mean, not everyone's miserable, but a lot of people are, as you said, dealing with, you know, pretty awful situations. And that may or may not include some members of your band too, I imagine, right?
Definitely, because we're all humans, right? So we all go through our ups and downs. But I found it's like it's for me, it's like that's when it's easier to write positive messages is when, you know, when things are tough because, you know, it's been said for a long time that, you know, it's easy to be good when everything's good,
Yeah,
but can you be good when everything's bad?
right.
So that's the real test of still being able to dig deep and hold on to your faith and hold on to what you believe and stay true to your core and still keep doing what you're doing, even though maybe the situation around you changes. That you try to stay constant and stay solid and not kind of get blown around with the wind left and right, up and down. Oh, this is where we're at. We stand firm.
Yeah,
Whatever the situation is, we deal with it. And same way, you know what I mean, in an upful, positive way with love and compassion and that, you know, spirit of brotherhood, sisterhood, where, you know, we're reaching out to see what we can do for others, you know, not just thinking about ourselves
of
also, you
course.
know, because that's a great key to like getting through things like this. I mean, if you focus on your own self, you can find you know, it can send you down a bit of a rabbit hole of whatever negative feelings or self-pity or whatever. But if you can dig deep again and maybe show some concern for others, see what you can do to help, because, you know, everybody could use a helping hand in this time, whether it's
Sure.
elders or homeless or people who are suffering poverty or people who maybe were just making it, but now through the situation, now it's a bit of a hardship. So I think that's a good way to really kind of feel good about your own self is in helping others. I've always found that way. You know?
Where can people hear this song? I mean, I know it's out now. You have a video. What's the best way? I know there's so many options now, right? There's so many different streaming services. What do you prefer? Where would you rather have someone check out your song if they're going to do it?
Well, I guess really I like the iTunes platform because the iTunes platform is at least it's an MP4, so the bandwidth and the strength of the signal and the actual audio is a little bit better. YouTube's got a nice visual where you can see the lyric video, you can check the lyrics for the song, and that's good. But I find that the audio gets a little bit compressed on the YouTube. Bandcamp also has a really good platform, and the Bandcamp platform is good because at least some of the money goes to the artist if you purchase the song. We're on Spotify also. I think we're on a few other platforms. Basically, we're on all the platforms. So
there's really, so many now too. There's every day.
So that's what you have to kind of do. Just make it for whatever people like, whatever platform the people prefer, because it's really up to them. I don't want to tell people what platform they should listen. They're going to listen on whatever they want to listen. So
of course,
we just try to make it available for all of them.
And for people who are maybe not familiar with your band or hearing you for the first time here, what's the best way to find out more about your older material, to hear the previous 2 albums and things like that?
Well, we got a brand new website that we just revamped.
I saw that the other day. It looks good. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We're really happy with it. Like, we're an independent band, so it's not like we have people behind the scenes and we're spending, $3,000 or $4,000 to get our website done. So more time, we kind of do it ourselves, but this time we had some really good help from our friend Angie Roots, and she really put together a real professional website. So the website address is www.thehumanrights.ca. And that's really the best way to stay in touch. We've got a newsletter you can subscribe to if you want to get on with all the information that's coming out about further singles, shows, the album release, videos, past shows, photo gallery, all the music that we've released so far is all, you can check it all out, all on there. Awesome. Probably the best way, yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, that I like the single. I mean, it's very much in line with your sound, right? I mean, it definitely sounds like a human rights song, and obviously the message is a positive one. And it's nice to hear new music from you.
Thanks a lot, man. And I know you've been following the band for years and years now. Yeah. So I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate all your love and support through all these years. Appreciate you having us on and focusing this new song. We're pretty happy with it. It's mixed and mastered by the one Dubmatics.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
Familiar with that. He's a guy here in Toronto, but he's got a bit of a worldwide reputation for having that great ear for sound.
Yeah.
He's with a lot of great artists, Sugar Minot, Ika Mouse, Sly and Robbie, all these, reggae legends from all.
Yeah, I have his albums. Yeah.
He's got his albums are fantastic, and
they're so really good.
He put his touch on this, which just really, like, honestly, the sound quality is amazing. I'm so happy with it. Love it.
Awesome. Well, right on. Yeah. Again, thanks for doing this, and hopefully, I'm looking forward to hearing the new album, and hopefully, when touring exists ever, if it happens, we'll see you in Winnipeg again one day.
It'll happen. Just we got to wait for the right time. That's the same thing I keep saying all the while. Let's just wait and see, and when the right time, when the right time comes, there's nothing that can hold it back.
Right on. Well, thanks again.